It's day 2 of the transfer window, and the market is really underway. There's a lot of deals and a lot of rumors to get through, so let's get right into it. Right off the bat, Declan Rice, he has been the subject of a lot of transfer interest from Arsenal, Bayern, and now a new contender to sign him has entered the picture. It's Man City. A lot of people are surprised by this. I mean, they have Rodri, they have Calvin Phillips. They are going to be losing Gundogan and Bernardo Silva most likely, but they have some depth there. And signing someone like Declan Rice kind of seems like surplus to requirements, but Arsenal had a bid from West Ham that got rejected. It was around 80 million plus add-ons. So West Ham clearly seemed to want to push it towards the 100 million threshold, at least it seems. And Arsenal seemed to be kind of falling behind the race. It seems like City is taking the front foot to sign Declan Rice. That is a deal to monitor and is going to be a huge deal in the coming weeks and months. There's going to be a lot of people trying to sign him, especially in the Premier League. We've already seen other teams attempt it, but with City entering the picture, I have a feeling that he's going to end up there, because when City comes knocking the Premier League, you're like an English player, you're not at the best team, say Aston Villa with Jack Grealish or West Ham with Declan Rice, you kind of just say, yeah. John Stones and Everton, third example. But next big order of business, Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has become a new target for Arsenal in the last few days, and a lot of people are shocked, myself included. Honestly, I don't think Havertz is the type of player that Arsenal should target. The interest seems concrete. There seems to be interest in him moving away from Stamford Bridge in the coming seasons. He doesn't have any intention to extend, and because of that, Clear Lake and Todd Boehly seem to be determined to sell him this window. Arsenal, though, I don't know where he fits in the system. You know, he doesn't displace Odegaard in the starting 11. He wouldn't really work too well in a double pivot with Partey. He wouldn't be too great up top. And I think on the wings, you have Martinelli and Saka, who are arguably better and fit the system more than Havertz. So I don't know where he fits. And for an estimated fee, which Chelsea is quoted of saying around 70 mil, that's going to be a lot of money. And I just don't see the value in that for Arsenal. They'd be better off signing a more proper central midfielder or a more out-and-out number 9 than signing somebody like Kai Havertz, who's a 10, where honestly they have one of the best 10s in the league in Martin Odegaard. You know, Odegaard can play as a 10 or an 8, and Havertz can have to play a little further up, but he's not lethal. He's not a clinical striker. He ultimately is creative at times, but it's in bursts and segments, and he could play a big part, but for 70 mil, I think they could use their money a lot better. So monitor Kai Havertz's situation, because there could be a lot of stuff that happens the coming days and weeks. Nicolo Barella is another person who has kind of entered the transfer talk sphere in the last couple days. Obviously, coming off the back of the loss in the Champions League final to Manchester City, there's been a lot of links for Barella. Liverpool was a candidate at a time. It seems like those links have died down. But a couple days ago, the news broke that Newcastle was going to sign him. And then a day passed and people were like, well, he hasn't been contacted. There's no official bid. It seems like Newcastle's kind of putting out feelers. According to Inter journalists and fans, the asking price is going to be a lot closer to 80 to 100 million as opposed to 50 mil. He does have 2 years left on his deal. I think he'd be a phenomenal fit for Newcastle. I really do. Nicolo Barella would look really great in that midfield. And then if they got someone like James Maddison, even better for Newcastle. But I don't see him going for that cheap. I think 60 to 70 mil could probably get him. I mean, on top of that, who knows if he even wants to come to the Premier League. I mean, Barella really strikes me as a player who could stay in Serie A for the rest of his career, and I wouldn't be shocked. This is a deal that is kind of like teetering. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's fake, but it is a deal to keep an eye out on. On top of the news that Arsenal is gaining competition in the likes of Bayern for Kai Havertz and Man City for Declan Rice, there's another big blow to their transfer plans this summer. Moises Caicedo, a huge target for Arsenal this summer, somebody that they've had their eyes on for a while now. He also might not be going to the Emirates. Rumor has it that Moises Caicedo, his asking price around maybe 70 mil, is too high for Arsenal. They don't want to pursue the deal if it's going to cost that much. So ultimately, they are in a position where they might have to lose out to Moises Caicedo to Chelsea. And honestly, that's a pretty interesting Chelsea transfer, if I do say so myself. Ultimately, Chelsea is a team that doesn't have European football next season, so seeing Moyes take the leap from Europa League football to no European football at all, interesting to say the least, but I'm assuming he's going to get a ridiculous wage, so there's trade-offs. And ultimately, a midfield two of, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, and then put in somebody else, that looks very exciting. Finally, for Liverpool fans, there are some updates regarding the pursuit of KHEPHREN Thuram. In the recent days and weeks, there has been a dwindling interest in Manu Kone, and it seems like KHEPHREN Thuram, out of the two, is the preferred target. Ultimately, we can't go in and submit a bid for either of them because the U21 Euros are about to take place, and because of that, since they're on international break, there's not going to be really chances to make, breakthroughs in negotiations or anything like that. And on top of that, OGC Nice, they do have their owner embroiled in a potential takeover of Manchester United, a potential purchase of Manchester United. He's currently in a bidding war. We'll see how that unfolds. Will that have some kind of, impact on the deal? If, Sir Jim Ratcliffe does go and buy Man United, does Liverpool then not get KHEPHREN Thuram? I mean, Thuram seems like a huge asset for Nice, and if he owns both of them, I feel like for him, at least from his perspective, it would be unwise to sell to Liverpool. You're strengthening a rival in England and in a league and a team that is, no offense, just bigger than Nice. So it would be a weird move. I hope that Liverpool can get that deal done because there seems to be some very, very concrete interest links that we're getting from Liverpool journalists. I mean, even Ibu Konate has came out in the press and mentioned KHEPHREN Thuram and even mentioned the possibility of him coming to Liverpool. He said that KHEPHREN Thuram is like a little brother to him and he's been around him his whole life, so he would love to see him come to Liverpool and prove everyone that thinks he can't do it wrong. Do I think there's weight and legs to the move? I do think so. I think that KHEPHREN Thuram has a very, very high chance of coming to Liverpool, but I am anxious that if he has an amazing tournament with France, that maybe with the way that Liverpool's transfer policy has been going, it could be a little tense. One would assume that maybe Nice try to, maximize the value of the deal and kind of push us a little too far. And I don't like being in a position like that as a fan, but that's just the matter of the facts. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. That's all the news I have for you today. There will be more news tomorrow, so stay tuned, subscribe so you don't miss it. Like the video if you enjoyed, and comment below what you think of these transfers. Do you have any other transfers that you saw that I haven't talked about on my channel that have interested you? And who do you want your team to sign this summer? Because transfer window is going to get really silly really fast. So thank you again so much for watching. I'm Sideline Sado. Peace.